Article 1 of the Constitution.
Member for Tagare, you've stood on which point of order?
81.
Order 81.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I was saying aware that Article 1 of the Constitution gives the mandate, the sovereign powers to the people. And Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I will quote the article which reads that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this Constitution. Mr. Speaker, if you go through that article, sub-article 1, 2, 3, 4, it purely gives all the powers and those that have been donated to the other arms of government, including the Senate, the National Assembly, and of course the County Assembly and the Executive. And Mr. Speaker, while on duty discharging our duties, specifically for my case, I have found it a bit rough to continue serving my people because of the threats and intimidation I'm receiving from the administration and the police. Mr. Speaker, of recent, I have had cases of insecurity in my ward. There have been serious theft going on in my ward. And Mr. Speaker, a number of people from my ward who are my voters came to my place. They were requesting my intervention so that, of course, their only livelihood they depend on is the animals they rear. They are supposed to sell them to take their children to school. Mr. Speaker, I have followed up this issue with the administration, that's the national government administration, the police, but in vain for a number of months now. So, Mr. Speaker, last week I happened to join my people when we were going after this animal that had been stolen, but we were really frustrated while we were at the site where, of course, we suspected that our animal had been hidden. I spoke personally with the DCC in charge of Kehancha. I spoke to the DCC in charge of Mambera. I spoke to the OSPD, Kehancha, and I informed them the problem we were going through. Of course, they all committed coming there to help us, but unfortunately they didn't. The local administration at that place, that's including the assistant chiefs, the chiefs, Mr. Speaker, they didn't come. It's also unfortunate that that was not my ward. Of course, it was a different ward and there's different sublocations in Ikerege. And Mr. Speaker, we spent there the whole day. Of course, at around 6 p.m., around 4 p.m. that is, the police for anti-stock theft came, plus one assistant chief. We tried to go around to find this cattle. We didn't find it, and it became late. They asked us to go back at home so that they do the operation at night, and the following day we were to go there and get back our animal because the police promised they will have recovered it. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the following day when we went to the scene, none of those police officers was on the ground. And
Honorable Tyson Kemege, the member is on a point of order, so kindly allow him to finish up.
Thank you, Speaker, for protecting me. So, Mr. Speaker, when we were there, as I had said earlier, we waited for this administration, and of course the police who had promised to give us back our animals, they didn't come. So we were unable to proceed. We were unable to proceed to find ways of finding our animal, and because we felt that we had been cheated by then those people who are given the mandate to protect, of course, our property, our lives, we made a decision of coming to Migori, specifically to the county commissioner, and petition our disagreement. Mr. Speaker, indeed we were very peaceful in our procession. There's no property that was destroyed. There's nobody who was harmed, and therefore, and Mr. Speaker, having aware that also you come from that area, You know, of course, when we go after our cattle, we don't go empty-handed. Of course, we carry weapons because, Mr. Speaker, you are aware that also thieves, when they come, they also come with weapons.
Order, member. Member, do not involve the chair on your point of order, kindly.
Mr. Speaker, so when we came to the county commission, unfortunately we didn't find him around, but we happened to petition the officer who was left behind to man the station, and I gave him our grievances and asked him to follow up the issue so that we can recover our animals. And successfully, we left the station and went back home. Mr. Speaker, aware that we were doing all these things in a day, broad daylight. It was not at night, it was during the day. We were meeting the police officers, we were meeting people on our way. What surprised me is that after we had finished that exercise, Mr. Speaker, I started receiving very funny calls from the same officers, the OSPD, the DCC, of course the county commissioner. Instead of helping me to sort the issue and the menace that is killing our people, they started threatening me. Mr. Speaker, I got dismayed, of course, why they will start threatening me instead of coming out to help the people that I represent. I didn't break any law, and therefore it has become even very hard, Mr. Speaker, to operate right now. Because I'm aware, having that I'm an MCA, and of course I also get intelligence. I'm aware that these people are planning for my arrest. I don't fear being arrested anyway, but I don't understand why the police would be spending a lot of time looking for me for my arrest instead of looking for the culprits who are stealing our animals. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I want this issue to be treated with the seriousness that it deserves.
Do you wish to be informed?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Okay, Member for North.
I thank you, my brother, for allowing me to inform you. Mr. Speaker, the issue the Honorable Magwe is raising is very pertinent. Pertinent to the extent that it touches its life and touches the life of people that represent, guided by Article 1, Part 2 on the sovereign powers belonging to the people.